Hi friends, a very warm welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to see a new story, the title of the story being Help, He is Drowning, published in the Gokulam magazine. So let's move towards the story. Priya had never learned to swim. She was determined that her sons Kumar and Shankar should learn. Both the boys learned at a very early age. Priya would take them to the pool at their club. The boys loved swimming early every morning because then they had the pool to themselves. Kumar, who was nearly 15, was a strong swimmer. He could swim at the deep end. Shankar was 10. He loved the shallows. One day, as Priya sat reading by the pool, she looked up to see Shankar clambered out. Before she realized what he was about to do, he rushed to the diving board and jumped into the deep end. Kumar was on the other side. He heard a big splash and then his mother was shouting, Kumar! Kumar! Shankar is in the deep! Kumar swam towards the Shankar. Priya forced herself to breathe deeply. She looked around to see if there was anything to throw to them. A large inflated air mattress lay by the pool and a colorful beach ball. These things could float, couldn't they? She looked for a rope, but she couldn't find any. Picking up the mattress, she turned back to the pool. She felt a chill of fright. Kumar had reached Shankar and the water was churning and surging around the boys. She saw Shankar fling desperate arms around Kumar's neck. Now both the boys disappeared from view. Help! Help! Screamed Priya. My sons are drowning. The pool attendant Madhav had come early to do some gardening. Hearing Priya's screams, he rushed to the pool. Taking in the situation at a glance, he flung off his slippers and jumped into the pool. He swam strongly and swiftly to the boys and pulled Shankar away from Kumar. As Kumar managed to free himself from the Shankar's grip, he surfaced and began to tread the water and hold his head up. Shankar, in his panic, tried to cling to Madhav's neck. I'll hold you, yelled Madhav. Don't hold me. Float, my boy, float. Shankar wouldn't listen, but suddenly went limp. Priya yelled to Kumar that she was throwing them the air mattress. By some luck, it landed with a splat on water close to them. Madhav and Kumar lifted Shankar on the little raft and towed him to where Priya stood. Madhav took charge. Quick, call an ambulance, he barked. He laid Shankar onto the ground and forced his neck back to see if there was a pulse. There was no pulse. Let's try mouth to mouth, he muttered to himself. Kumar raced off to a telephone. Priya stood still, trembling with fear. He checked with Shankar's mouth for dirt and forced the teeth apart. Thank God, the pool is clean. He held Shankar's nostrils shut and placed his mouth on Shankar's and blew hard when he straightened. He put the mattress under the boy's shoulder to elevate them. He repeated this process tirelessly, pausing only to cross his arms and press Shankar's chest. Priya watched Madhav for what seemed like hours. There seemed to be no signs of life, but suddenly Madhav sensed a movement under him, and the little boy's eyelids fluttered. Kumar ran back to say an ambulance was on its way, and Shankar gave a gasp and began to cry. Madhav quickly turned the boy onto his tummy and pressed his lower back. Water streamed from his mouth and nose. He seemed to be coughing. By the time the ambulance arrived, Shankar's pulses were steady. The ambulance men put him onto the stretcher and put him into the vehicle. Kumar got in too. Priya turned to Madhav. How can I ever thank you? She said. I don't even know your name. My name is Madhav, ma'am. I hope the little fellow is all right, replied Madhav. Priya got in and drove to the hospital. Kumar and Shankar came to visit Madhav at the pool the very next week. They introduced themselves to him. He remembered them, of course, but there had been no time to ask for their names. Priya had come too. She wanted to thank Madhav for saving her younger son's life. If it had been for you, said Priya, and shuddered. No more swimming for the boys. Why, ma'am? I know you were frightened and worried, but don't say that they cannot swim. Accidents do happen and they can learn to handle emergencies. Of course, they won't be careless again, said Madhav. They are not the worse for their adventure. There is no reason they cannot swim safely if they follow some rules. What rules? Said Shankar. Oh, just common sense, replied Madhav. You can make up some for yourselves. Make my own rules? That would be fun, said Shankar. You have to make them very responsibly, Shankar, said Madhav. They are for your safety and you must follow them if you wish to be safe. Yes, but if accidents will happen, how will they cope? Asked Priya. Well, I can teach some basic rescue and first aid methods to keep them safe, said Madhav. Will you teach us artificial stumbled Shankar. Respiration. Sure, but only if your mother doesn't mind. Will teach us right now? Asked Kumar. Madhav looked inquiringly at Priya. She smiled. All right, I'll be back in an hour to fetch you, she said. As soon as she had gone, Madhav turned to the boys. Well, fellows, he said, breakfast before your first aid lesson. Yes, shouted the boys. So this was a story published in the Gokulam magazine. Till I come back with a new video and a new episode, till then stay safe and take care. This is your Chandamama signing off.